start the session just immediately. Before that, let's have some fun. Okay, so I have question number 1. What is it that goes up but never comes down? I need to have your answers in the chat box. What is it that goes up and never comes down? Time? Okay. How is it the time goes up and it will never come down? Yeah, someone responded. Yes, it's age. Wonderful. Thank you so much. The right answer is age. Age will actually goes up and it will never come down. And when I'm giving these questions, and I wanted you to remember these questions until the end of this session. All right. So the next one, some months have 31 days, others have 30 days, but how many days have 28 days? Type your answers in the chat box. All 12 months, everyone. All months, all months, all months. Thank you so much. I think all the participants are awake and they are really very bright. Okay, so the next question is, what breaks and never falls, and what falls which never breaks? Type your answers in the chat box. What breaks and never falls, and what falls which will never break? These 3 questions are not just for fun. At the same time, these 3 questions will help you until the end of a session, whatever that we are discussing today. Okay, someone responded air. Okay, can I get a few more answers? Tears. Okay. Lunch break never falls and waterfalls never breaks. Heart, plastic. Okay. Few more. What breaks and never falls, and what falls which will never break? Dream. Okay, great. So last 10 seconds. If you answer, it's good. If not, I win. Wood. Okay. Night and day. Okay. Time to search Google. Okay. So please don't search in Google. I would go ahead and answer. It's promise. The answer is promise. How many of you agree? Promise is the right answer, which means what breaks and never falls, and what falls never breaks. So do you all agree that it's a promise? Thank you so much for agreeing with me on this. Let's move ahead and start the session. Okay. So now here I have few questions. Work versus life balance. Okay. How would you describe work-life balance? It's all about balancing work and life is what I was hearing until now, right? So if I have to say that, the answer is no. And what exactly is the answer? It's all about a person who equally prioritizes the demands of one's career and the demands of one's personal life. How many of you will agree with this statement? Work-life balance means it's all about the person who equally prioritizes the demands of one's career and the demands of one's personal life. Yeah, agree? Thank you so much. So now let's go ahead and check this. What is the difference between, is it all about a balancing both work and life? And what is the difference between the person equally prioritize the demands of one's career and the demands of one's personal life? Does it have any kind of a difference, or is it the same statement? Does it have any difference, or is it the same statement? Please type your answers in the chat box. Is it same or different? If it is same, type it as same. If it is different, then type it as different. Thinking? Are you all thinking? Or is it like you're just stuck? Is it all about balancing both work and life? And is it all about a person equally prioritize the demands of one's career and the demands of one's personal life? Does it have a difference, or is it the same? Different, right? Different. Thank you. Yes, the people who have made sure that it's a different, please make sure and understand the importance of this statement, because it is really very important for our brain to understand what exactly is a work-life balance. But usually when people ask like, what is work-life balance? We always tend to say that it's a balancing between work and life. No, my dear friends, it's not about balancing between work and life. It's about balancing between work and life. Making mistakes, time management, slackers, disagreeable co-workers, office bullies, gossipers, and troublemakers. So is this the challenge that we always face when we are in the workplace? Are we facing all of these challenges when we are in the workplace? If we are facing these challenges at the workplace, type yes. If you have any more points that I might have missed out, please type that point as well if you feel that is also the point that has to be considered. Most of the time, we always see the problems, but who is there to give us and guide us with the solution? So how many of you are interested to know what exactly is the solution to overcome all of these things? Overcome all of these things means the points which is displayed on the screen is the problems that we are all facing every day, and how many of you will agree, and at the same time how many of us are here to get the solutions. Are we all ready to learn the solutions? Let's check like how. All right. You know what is the solution? It's very simple. It's very, very simple. How do we overcome of all is like communication, communication, communication. And communication to the person, not about the person. Do you agree with this? Do you agree with this? Usually, when we start feeling the problems is we try to go and speak with other person instead of talking to the person from whom we have the problem. For an example, I have a problem with A, but I'm not talking to A. What I'm doing is I'm going and talking to B. So is that the solution? So what happens when I'm talking to B? So again, this problem arises to another problem. Do you all agree with this? Do you all agree with this? Yes. So if we feel communication is the solution for all the problems that what we have mentioned here, do you think our half of the workload will be easier and smoother? Do you agree for the problems, whatever we have listed down here, if the solution would be communication to the person, not about the person, will our problem will be reduced and can we lead our work-life balance on a smoother way? If you agree with this, please type it in the chat box that you agree. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. So now we all know like we are having a problem. Okay, fine. We go and speak to the people and we will not talk about the people. We will talk to the people, but still after all of these things, but most of the time, okay, we are bonded and surrounded in such a kind of environment. We always tend to hear this. Do you agree? We always tend to hear no. Whenever you listen no, when I hear this no, what is my feeling? Okay, is it my feeling is positive? Is it my feeling is negative? Is it my feeling is mixed? Is it my feeling doesn't matter? What is the definition of no actually out of this four? Can you give me an answer? I totally agree. Okay, so the problems that I listed, we will have to go and communicate to the people, not about the people. But in spite of communicating, even though we always or maybe often, we tend to hear no most of the times, right? When we hear this no, what happens to our energy? What happens to our energy? So can I get few answers? Like when you hear no, okay, what happens? Is it like positive? Is it like negative? Is it like mixed? Is it like doesn't matter? Whatever the answer relates to you, please put it in the chat box that the answer relates to you. Negative. Okay, good. Okay, a few more answers. I would give maybe 10 seconds because I wanted you to look into this slide very carefully because this is really very important. Whenever you hear no in your life, okay, what exactly happens? Like, is it like disappointment? Yeah, energy drains and you become upset, right? And you will get a discouraged and negative, right? So why all of these things is happening? You know what is the definition of no actually according to me? How many of you wanted to hear what is the definition, the new definition of no according to me? If you want to hear what is the new definition according to me, please type it in the chat box that I. Type it in the chat box, I. Yes, yes. I think Manjeet has answered rightly. Yeah. So the new definition for no means it is new opportunity. What exactly is the meaning of new opportunity? Okay, fine, we gave some idea, so the people are not accepting that idea. It's okay, I don't need to, I just don't need to go behind that. Okay, so what is it? That doors are closed for me, so I will have to look for a new opportunity now. Okay, what is the definition of a new opportunity here? When we say new opportunity, what is the definition of a new opportunity? Do you all agree, first of all, like the meaning of no is a new opportunity in the latest era that we can consider instead of thinking of negative, instead of thinking of disappointment? Do you think we can consider as the new opportunity? Yes, the new option or alternate, yes. Can I have few more responses from the participants? I need few more responses from the participants. Do you all agree? Can we take the definition of a new opportunities for no instead of we are just draining our energy for anything and everything? Yeah? Right. Yes. Yes. Thank you. When the doors are closed, we should not be upset. Yes. I appreciate all the answers. Thank you so much. Okay, so now we discuss so many things. Okay, so the problem arises. For the problems, we go and communicate to the people. We talk to the people. We will not talk about the people. All of these things, okay, fine. And for some people, it's totally understandable. It looks very rosy. And some people would really understand. But now my main question is, what is it that we can do to explore our new opportunities? Can I get some feedbacks? Can I get some responses? What is it that we can do to explore our new opportunities? We discuss so many things. The problem comes, when the problem comes, we talk about the problem, okay? We speak to the problem, we try to solve the problem. We tend to hear no, okay? And now we change the no also from negative to the positive. That is like new opportunity. All this is totally fine, okay? So what is new opportunity now? Okay, every time, okay, we cannot say that, okay, so this door is closed for us, so we will just shut this door and we just move ahead. The life is not all about this, right? So how many of you will agree with this? If you agree with this, type it in the chat box that I agree. How many of you will feel that it makes sense? Right? Yes. So I see a lot of agree. Okay. So now let's understand. And I wanted you to pay 100% attention for my next slide. And trust me, the next slide is going to be an eye opener for all of us who are here. And I'm sure you will be enjoying this next slide for the rest of the entire session. Yeah. Are we all ready to go to the next slide? Yes. How many of you are excited to go to the next slide? Yes. Thank you. Okay, so how do we balance to bring a harmony in life? How many of us are balancing now to bring a harmony in life? Do you think balancing a work life and balancing the work life will bring a harmony to your life? right? Yes. Okay, so now what exactly is harmony according to me is knowing what you want and why you want brings a clarity in oneself and leads to the harmonious life. And I know this statement is really very powerful statement. I repeat the statement: knowing what you want.
Sorry to interrupt. We are not able to see the new slide. Have you changed the slide?
Yeah, which slide can you see?
Work, the same first slide, work-life balance.
Oh, you can see only work-life balance. Let me just share it again. Yeah, can you see the slide now?
Yes. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
No problem. Okay, so now how do we balance now to bring a harmony in life? Okay, so this is a very powerful statement. Please, I give you 30 seconds. Take a long breath and think and read the statement again and again. Knowing what you want and why you want brings a clarity in oneself and leads to the harmonious life. How many of you agree that this is a very powerful statement? If you agree this is a very powerful statement, then type as a VP. Type as a VP. If you find that this statement is a very powerful statement, type in the chat box as a VP. Yeah? So now what exactly is the meaning of it? How many of you are here that they know what you want? If you know what you want, type in the chat box that you know. I am breaking this statement into 3 parts. Okay, so the first is knowing what you want. Okay, if you know what you want, type in the chat box that you know. Only one person know? I don't know, just going with the flow. Amazing. Okay, I know. Okay. Out of 600 people, only like few people know what you want. All right. Okay, I break the next statement now. Why you want. Okay, what you know, do you know why you want that? I see most of you have written that I know. Okay, when you have written down that I know, do you know why do you want that? If you want me to give an example, I need a cell phone is I know that I want. But why do I need a cell phone? The reason is I wanted to get connected to my family. I wanted to get connected to my friends. I wanted to get connected to the social world. This is the reason that I need the cell phone. Okay, like that, if you have a list of what you want and you know about that list, do you exactly know why do you want that list? Trust me, if you know what you want and if you know why you want, will bring a clarity in one's life to lead a harmonious life. Yeah. Now let's go ahead and see how we can actually balance our life. Yeah. Amazing. I want to become an MD. Wow, that's great. Thank you so much for giving me that kind of responses. This keeps us the spirit high. All right, can you see my next slide? If you can see my next slide, please type it in the chat box that you can see my next slide. Yes. If you can see my next slide, type it in the chat box that you can see. Yes. All right. So now this is a very powerful powerful slide again. Okay. So what exactly this slide says? How do I identify what I need? List out minimum top 3 things from each goal which is important for you. For this, I am giving you exact 7 minutes, and in this 7 minutes, I wanted you to write a top 3 goals in this, all the goals, whatever I have listed down. Okay, if you don't have, please, this is a high time that we will have to write down our goals, which is really important for us. Okay, so the first one is you will have to write top 3 goals when it comes to investment. Okay, the next is top 3 goals when it comes to savings. Then the top 3 goals when it comes to career. Then next, the top 3 goals which comes to possession. Okay, then next, the top 3 goals which comes as asset. And again, the top 3 goals which is related to health. And again, the top 3 goals which comes under learning. Again, when it comes to the contribution, the top 3 goals which comes under a contribution, okay? Top 3 goals for relationship, top 3 goals for recreation. How many of you would think that whatever the goals that I have listed here today is really important in our life, and most of the goals we were unaware of? How many of you think the list of goals, whatever I have listed on my screen, is really very important, but I was unaware until now that I need all of these things? And at the same time, do you think when we have all of these goals, we get a clarity of what we want? And then I will teach you why we want. And do you think we will lead a harmonious life? And when we are leading a harmonious life, do you think automatically we can balance work-life balance? Do you all agree with this? If you agree with this, please type it in the chat box that you agree with this. Yes, I'm giving you 7 minutes. I wanted you to please pay attention to this slide. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this slide. This is really very important. Trust me, guys, when you have a clarity, your brain needs a clarity. When you have a clarity, automatically you will be leading a harmonious life. Most of the time, people go stressed, people go in depression, people go in different kind of problems when we don't have really a clarity. I see Mr. Shankar has responded health, career, and saving. Okay, I repeat, I wanted you to list down top 3 goals in each segment, which means investment 3 goals, savings 3 goals, career 3 goals. If you want to give if I want to give an example, investment, okay, I have a commitment to myself that I will have to invest minimum of 20,000 every month, no matter what, in SIP. This is one of my investment. Okay. My savings, no matter what, how much ever the salary I get, minimum 10,000 has to be taken out from my salary and keep it as a savings in any account which I cannot access, which I don't have my ATM card, which I don't have my internet banking, nothing. So that whenever I need, I don't need to break it. Okay. Career. As you all know, I'm a psychologist, I'm a career, and all of the, I'm a coach, an NLP coach. Where I wanted to see is I wanted to see myself listing in International Psychologist Board. This is my career goal. Okay. So like this, I wanted you to list down all the goals in this entire chat, what you can see on the screen. Investment, saving, career, health, relationship. All right. So what is in investment? What is in saving? How many of you agree this slide is really very important and we were not aware that this is really important for us and we have got the clarity? Or you are aware about all of these things are important, but we never paid an attention. Do you think this slide is really very important? Yes. Can I have a few more responses? Do you think this slide is really very important? And how many of you feel that this slide is really important and we really need to work on it? Yeah, right. And how many of you feel this is really, really very important and you are enjoying seeing this slide and it is triggering from inside that what exactly is my investment? What is my saving? When I start saving money, when I see 1 crore in my account in next 5 years, how exactly is my feeling? Can you see the wider picture of it? Yeah, you start seeing the wider picture when you have a goals right in front of you. The moment you achieve. Right. So once with this, I'm just giving you last 5 minutes and I wanted you to list down the top 3 goals in each segment. You don't need to put it in the chat box. This is completely yours, your thing. It's your secrecy and it's totally up to you. But I wanted you to make sure that you spend some time on this. And once you are done, please type it in the chat box that you are done so that I proceed for the next. I'm giving you 5 minutes because I feel this is the really important slide for each every one of us when we are talking about work-life balance. when we are talking about prioritizing our professional life with our career life. And also I wanted to add, in any point of time, if you find I'm totally confused and I really don't know how to, I need to list down my goals, please nominate yourself for one-on-ones. I am there to support, and I have been working with a couple of the admins from your company itself, and I will make sure that this is going to be a completely confidential. We are not going to share with anyone, but please make sure that you spend a little time on this. I'm pressing again and again and again. Yeah, once you are done, please type it in the chat box that you are done. If you feel this slide is really important and you're working on it, please type it in the chat box as you're working. You can just type it as W. I understand that you're working. And if anyone is confused that you don't know how to list down, you can type it in the chat box that you don't know, or even you can just put it a private message here, then I will be working on it. Yes. Once you are done, please type in the chat box that you are done so that I can go to the next slide. I can see most of you have done. Okay, so now my next question is, when you have written like done, and when you were just noting down your goals, what was your feeling? Was it exciting you? Like, were you scared? Were you happy? Were you joyful? Okay, what was your feeling? I wanted you to type a chat. I wanted you to type in the chat box, what was your feeling when you actually list down your goals, and when you see the goals right in front of you, was the goals were exciting you? If the goals were exciting, then type it as exciting. If you were scared looking at the goals, type it as scared. Whatever the feeling that you are going through now, whatever the emotion that you're going through now, please type it in the chat box. How many of you are feeling excited? How many of you are feeling joyful? How many of you are scared? How many of you are like blank? How many of you are like, I don't know what exactly is happening? How many of you are feeling like this much is there, but I have left everything and I have not decided anything about my life? Whatever it could be, what is the current emotion that you are going through, please type it in the chat box. Joyful, positive, okay? I wanted all of you to participate. I feel equally important that this is really very important. Yes, mixed, confused, excited, yes. Excited. Thank you so much. Now, after listening to all of these things, would you want to hear something from me? If you want to hear something from me, please type it in the chat box that want to hear. Just type it as WH, want to hear. Yes, thank you so much. Okay, so with this, let me just give you a small pinch here. The people who have not written down the goals which you see on the screen, that means you are jungling between your work life balance, okay, which means that you don't have a clarity. When you don't have a clarity, so what happens, you always get into anxiety, you always get into stress, you always get into frustration, you always have a complaint with the life, like, hey, what the hell is my life? Okay, so there is nothing happening. Wherever I am, I'm still there only. Yeah, these all problems you start facing when you don't have a clarity on this. And at the same time, when you have a clarity on this, your entire energy shifts, that you know you want this and you will be working towards this. How many of you will agree with the statement that I gave you right just now? If you agree with this, type it in the chat box. If you don't have all of these things, it leads to stress, frustration, anxiety, complaining life, negative life. Okay, like always complain with the life. Okay, what the hell is my life? Wherever I am, I'm just there only. I'm not able to do anything. Okay, I feel like my life sucks. Okay, all of these feelings are coming. And at the same time, how many of you feel when we really have this kind of a clarity? What is my goals? What is the top goals of my life? Okay, that means that we are exciting and we are in the journey toward leading this, and when we are going towards this, we forget what exactly has left behind. Yes, someone has mentioned, does this lead to the anxiety and stress? Yes, 100% it leads to the anxiety and stress. And thank you so much for raising this question. I would like to give an example on this. Okay, see, most of the people, what happens is like, I'm an easygoing person. So what I do is I take up my life as the way it comes, which means that I don't have any goals in my life. I get my salary today, be it a 10,000, be it a 1 lakh. I just love enjoying my salary. Okay. And I don't have any goals. Where do I need to take my career? What is my investment? What is my saving? What is it that I need to learn myself? What is the contribution? Which means that they are stuck in one single place. And when we start seeing the people who are around us, and most of the time I start my journey as an admin, but the person who has started a journey as an admin along with me, he has already reached to the position of a team lead. Okay. And what we see, his luck was good, so he just moved on. So this is one thing that we always hear. And the other category of our people is, we started our journey together, but he's already reached to the team lead. What is it lacking in me that I'm still as an admin? So when this kind of a things are there, what happens? Yeah, do you all agree? Yes, thank you so much. So now, what are the 6 components of a work-life balance? Okay, so according to me, the 6 components of a work-life balance is, you can see my screen? Can you see my screen? If you can see my screen, please type in the chat box that you can see my screen. Can see. All right, thank you so much. Okay, so the 6 components of a work-life balance is a self-management, time management, stress management, managing change, managing technology, managing leisure time. Okay, what now, let's understand what exactly is the self-management. So what do you feel, what do you think, what is self-management according to you? So is the self-management is all about like managing our nutrition, our sleep, our exercise, our food, ourself, everything? Yeah, self-management is all about like managing ourselves, which means that providing a proper nutrition to us, proper exercise, that is physically and as well as mentally. What is physically? You need to keep giving some kind of a positive. Okay, so this positivity happens when you are good. Okay, when you are Mental health is good when your physical health is good. Remember, always physical health will go hand in hand. Okay. And the second one is time management. So what exactly is time management? I will cover that in the next slide. Okay. What is stress management? That also I will be covering. Okay. Managing change. What is managing change? Couple of the times what happens, we work from home, we work from office, but are we having a capacity, are we having that kind of the capacity that we can manage? Because sometimes we feel working from home actually sucks because everyone keeps disturbing us, and working from office is like again disturbing us. And now, as we all know, due to the pandemic, we are all working from home and we are so comfortable out of this. And when we go for workplace, do we enjoy? Do we enjoy? Yes or no? Do we enjoy? Yes, right? So like this, we will have to start manage our change. You know, most of the time when there was no pandemic, if the manager is telling, hey, you work from home 3 days and you work from office 2 days, you're all so much excited and you're all like so much happy. Okay, finally my manager has let me to work from home. But now at the same time, people are dying. They wanted to go back to the work and they wanted to work. Why? Because anything that you do it for a continuous 21 days, it becomes your habit. When it becomes your habit, sometimes you are able to adjust it, sometimes you're not able to adjust it. The people who cannot adjust it continue doing it for 90 days. Yeah. Managing a leisure time. So when I'm covering the time management, in this I will teach you how do you manage your leisure time, how do you manage your change, and how do you manage yourself. Okay. But remember, the 6 components of a work-life balance is really, really very important. Here is some of the key idea where people will lack. Why do we lack is like we always be in the process of everything is equally not important, do fewer things and do them well. How many of you will agree just with this statement? Everything is equally not important, do fewer things and do them well. But most of the time what happens, most of the people, they wanted to do everything, and when we wanted to do everything, we land up facing a challenge that we are unable to do anything. Do you agree with this? If you agree with this, type it in the chat box that you agree. Yes, absolutely agree. Okay, so now again, decide what are your values are and which ones take. Okay, so when I'm saying what your values are, which means the slide that we covered your goals, okay, what is those goals value and what is it important for you? Okay, and I wanted you to focus on that. Okay, so now can you connect how important it is? The previous slide, when you know what you want, it is easy for you to prioritize how do you need to go and what do you need to do, right? So do things to get a disproportionate results. Do you agree with this statement as well? Do the things that gets disproportionate results. Yeah. So focus on the things only that you can do. Don't focus on the things that I cannot do. For an example, I'm a life coach. Okay. If I focus on designing something, I might not do well. So when I try doing that, what happens? Actually, I tend to lose my name. Do you all agree with this? It's as simple as that. Can Sachin act as a doctor? We all know Sachin is a good player, okay? And it's just because he's a good player and we all like love him, care him, okay? We respect him, everything. Can he act as a doctor? It's just because people know he's a celebrity. Can he act as a doctor and can he do well? No, right? So what happens? You will have to do what you are good at, and what you are not good at, you will have to start deliberating that work for the people who are good at it. And at times, if you don't have any options, and if it is permittable to your skill set and your workplace, that is very important, then it is always better to learn. Yeah. Do the important things which must be done now. Okay, which means it's as simple as this. I will give you one live example, okay, for the ladies here and also for the people who are like the boys, okay, you might have seen this at home. So we always has a house help when we are coming for the workplace. So today morning, my house help calls me and say that, Madam, आज मेरे को छुट्टी चाहिए, मेरे बेटे की तबीयत ठीक नहीं है. So what happens? So what exactly we start doing, you know? Again, there are two category of people. The first category of people is like, okay, so the maid is not coming. I cannot leave my vessels and I cannot go to office. So I will start cleaning my vessels right away and then I go to the office. And there is another category of women. They are like, it's okay, fine. I come back and I do it. What happens with the people who are in the first category, that I will do it everything now, which means that you are disturbing your entire schedule. You're not managing your time. When you're not managing your time, when you're disturbing your schedule, you are actually adding something extra to your regular routine, which will lead you, it's like, okay, overburden. Okay, the best word is like overburden. And when you go office, you're already tired because you have done something which is extra, right? When you have done something extra, when you go to the office, your colleague starts asking you the question, what happened? You seems to be dull today. Okay, so she started answering, or he started, Are yaar, mere ko today morning the maid called me and she said that, okay, I cannot come today, so I will have to do everything. So she starts answering this to most of the people. When she's answering, her energy is going down. Why? People are asking like, why are you dull? Right? So do you think we always face this kind of a problems in a day-to-day life? Okay, if you feel this is the common problem that we face, type in the chat box as yes. Type in the chat box as yes if we face this kind of a problems very often in our day-to-day life, right? So usually we always tend to do this. So do the important things which must be done now. Okay, do not add anything new which disturbs your entire schedule. Always prioritize your work. Do you all agree with this? If you agree with this, please type it in the chat box that you agree so that we can go to the next slide. If you agree with this, type it in the chat box that you agree so that we go to the next slide. All right. Okay. So now I have something very interesting for you here. Okay. And I don't know how important that all these affirmations is going to relate with you, but I read these affirmations. Whichever the affirmation makes sense for you and to your situation, I wanted you to make a note of that affirmation and practice these affirmations right from today until next 21 days. Okay. So I start. Affirmations help you to focus on maintaining your life-work balance. Use the ones that resonate with you. I'm repeating, use the ones which resonates with you. I give my job a solid 8 and the rest belongs to me, which means out of 24 hours, I give solid 8 hours for my job and the rest of the time belongs to me. Okay? And I have a job, but I refuse to let my job have me. How many of you did understand this statement? I have a job, but I refuse to let my job have me. In the balance between the life and the work, I choose life. In the balance between the life and the work, I choose life. I work hard and I claim my just rewards for my hard work. I work hard and I claim my just rewards for my hard work. Today and every day, I make a time for a career and a personal success. This is one of the powerful and my lowest affirmation that I follow every day, no matter what. Today and every day, I make a time for my career, and personal success. So today, I make a time to work and time for me. Today, I make a time to work and time work for me. I am a high achiever, but when I need downtime, I recognize it and I take it. I'm a high achiever. When I need downtime, I recognize it and I take it. How many of you will resonate? These affirmations is really helping you. If you feel that this resonates you, just type it in the chat box that it resonates you. Always remember, affirmations are like this. You are in the driver's seat in your life. Just don't go along for the ride. Right? Follow your bliss, experience your bliss, become your bliss. Okay? I repeat, follow your bliss, experience your bliss, become your bliss. If you resonate, any of these affirmations has helped you, please make a note of these affirmations and start following and start practicing for next 21 days. And you see the change. So with this, I come to an end of the session. I hope like now you know like how you need to balance the work-life balance, how you need to prioritize your professional life and the career life. Okay, if you have any questions with this, please feel free to just type it in the chat box. I would be very happy to address all your questions. Did you find this session is helpful? If you find this session is helpful, please type it in the chat box. The session was useful. If you find any questions which is need to be addressed, and if you please type it in the chat box. And at the same time, if I have covered any slide which doesn't resonate with the work of life, please type in the chat box. I'm ready to accept that as well. I'm looking for your answers. Yes, it was literally useful. Thank you so much. I wanted you to just type in the chat box, was this session helpful for you? Did I make sense of work-life balance? And do you really feel the slide which I covered about the goals is really very important and you have got some insightful, spending almost like 1 hour and giving your valuable time to this? If you find this helpful, please type it in the chat box. Yes. Thank you so much. And if anyone has any questions like the goals, whatever you had mentioned, I was unable to just put down my goals and I was not able to understand and I was so confused. I really need your support in it. So I'm there in it for it. So you can just give me that also. I'm okay to just support you in that as well. Have fun and would go a long way in life. Yes. Remember always, the work-life balance is just all about like balancing your goals. If you balance your goals, if you know what exactly you want and why you want, that means you always, oh, you want me to unmute? Please allow to unmute. I think Vipasha must do that. I'm sorry, guys.
Asha, please unmute members.
Okay, so someone is messaging me like, can you please move the slides? I wanted to take a screenshot. All right, so I quickly go ahead and move the slides from the beginning. In case if you find any of my slide is helpful, you can just go ahead and take a screenshot. Yeah, so this is my first slide. So here I go, my second slide. Here I go, my third slide. I hope all of you are able to see my screen, right? I'm sorry if I'm just scrolling my screen and if you're not able to see that. Yes, can see. All right, thank you. This is my next slide. Okay, see, when you see my next slide, I have given a wonderful picture. Okay, when you see this image, do you think actually it excites us? New opportunity, it's all about like we are planting a new tree, right? Yeah. Okay, so this is my next slide. Okay, so what my next slide is, how do we balance now to bring a harmony in life? Knowing what you want and why you want brings a clarity in oneself and leads to the harmonious life. This is my next slide. This is a very, very important slide. Please make a screenshot of this slide. Even if you don't, if you have not spent your time, because these slide really needs very, very long time to put in our goals. Okay, take a screenshot and make sure that you have all the goals. When you are writing down the goals, also write why this goal is important for you. It's simple as that. Health. Why health is important for you? What health gives you, right? So for me, why health is important, the health gives me energy. When I'm energetic, I can achieve anything. Okay, so just write that as well, like why it is important for you. Next slide. And here are some of the key ideas. This is the affirmations. And this is the Q&A. I hope like people whoever wanted to take a screenshots have taken a screenshots. If you have any questions, please type it in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and you can ask me the questions. I can answer. Manjeet, over to you. I guess they don't have any questions. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If the session has been helpful, and please feel free to type in that. And what is your learning of the day? Please type in.
Thank you, Ms. Sabrina. A lot of learning. Even I have taken screenshot of couple of and I'm sure a lot of learning from today's session. So I request that in your learning, any topic that you want us to discuss further, so that accordingly we can plan new sessions for you. So I request everyone, we truly appreciate your thank yous and wonderful sessions feedback. But if you could, it will be more meaningful, more learning for everyone if you could take a time and write in something which, adds more value to the session. So we request everyone to share in one takeaway from the session.
Just adding to Manjeet what she's saying, see, whenever we have like the takeaway, when we type, okay, so it is syncing with our entire body, soul and mind. Okay, so that actually help you in long-term remembrance. So whatever your learning is there, please type it in the chat box. Hey, this is what is your learning.
Very true. So everyone can write into your own understanding, your own words. It's not necessary that what exact words have been used by Sabrina. You have to write in it. It's not easy. Whatever you have understood and whatever adds more sense to you, and you think that yes, you take away this from your session. Please feel free to write in. It will be truly appreciated, and it will be a learning for everyone. Great. I can see creating better understanding in work relationship. Good job. Plan, implement, and stick to accomplish. Great job, team. I would really appreciate if each one, take an initiative and write it on the screen. You'll help us in a lot of learning. Any question? If someone has, please let us know. We'll unmute you so that you may discuss it. Wow, great. Amazing session, ma'am. Learned how to balance life and tackle things in life. Great. 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 We'll wait for a couple of more minutes. If someone has any questions, please raise your hand or ping on the chat We'll definitely unmute you. Please feel free to share in any questions you have. Miss Safina is there with us. She would also love to answer it. Okay, Shravani raised her hand. Do you want some questions you have? Satya, Shravani, do you have any question? Do you want to share something? If anyone wants to share the feedback or takeaway of the session on unmuting yourself, please feel free to do that. Vipasha, if I am audible to you, please unmute the team members. Let one by one, anyone has to share something, can freely share.
Okay, if team members want, they can unmute themselves. I would not unmute them all at once because that would create a little chaos. So if participants want, they can unmute themselves and speak directly with us.
All right, great. That sounds good. So anyone, people who are raising hands, feel free to unmute yourself one by one. And if you have any questions, anything you want to discuss, please feel free to ask. Even the screen says questions and answers. Please ask. Please feel free to ask. Right, any topic that we want to discuss further on the next session? If you want Miss Safina to help you with something, enlighten more on certain topic, please feel free to write that as well. We'll definitely will work on it. All right, amazing session. All right, Miss Safina, I think a lot of positive feedback coming on. They loved the session, and definitely during the session also they took a lot of time that this year they are working on it, so which really means a lot. And you were equally make every team member to participate in the session, which is very nice, which makes learning more of into practice, in fact, I would say.
Thank you so much. So it's a team's efforts, like when we communicate with each other, so the session goes automatically good.
Well, yes, I truly agree to you. Even a simple session can be a wow session when we all, interact and with each other. I think someone has shared, I need a session on science of emotions, and this session is very good. All right, someone has pinged me individually. I'm sorry, I didn't notice. Do you want a session on science of emotions? All right, we'll work on it, team. Anyone else has any other suggestions, please feel free to type.
Yeah, so someone has pinged me as well, like they are stuck somewhere when we had given them an activity of science of emotions and they wanted to repeat the session again.
Sure. So definitely, team, it's really nice, sometimes certain topics which you highlight brings in more of, and we can get more of it for learning for others as well. Great job, team. We really appreciate for people who actively listen and participate in the session. It really means a lot. If anyone still has anything to share in individually or something you want to share it to the team, please feel free to type in. And if you want to unmute yourself, please feel free to unmute. Angel Kumar, attendance is captured automatically if you update your name to participant name to your employee ID. It will be automatically captured. Sorry, team, we are not capturing attendance to the chat window. All right, I think okay, someone has raised the hand. Fatima Singh, anything you have to ask in, please unmute yourself. Please feel free to ask. Team, please do not hesitate. If you have any doubts, please feel free. I can see a few people raising hands. So I would request, if you want to individually ping to Safina, it's okay. You have, full freedom to do that. Please feel free to contact.
Ma'am?
Anji?
Yes.
Yeah, it's so helpful to us. So thanks for giving such kinds of tips to us.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
Okay.
Wow. That's great. So, it really takes a lot of courage, to speak up in public and appreciate really means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Really means a lot.
Okay.
All right. If anyone still has something to say, please feel free to unmute yourself. Please feel free to contact. In case, if we cannot unmute, we understand we are with family. If you want to write it into the chat window, truly appreciate it. All your efforts, all your questions are, makes a lot of sense, a lot of value to us.
All the credit goes to each one of you. Firstly, because thank you so much for taking care of yourself. I think that's something very, very important. And I see the enthusiasm of people. And as Manjeet said already, we are mapping some time as well. It's not just to, specifically see the time and, marking attendance, but I certainly feel that we should take the essence of the session which are being planned by Antarman. We spend a lot of time understanding what are the sessions that are required, and there are a lot of experts behind planning every week's calendar, right? And what should I say about Safina? She is one of the most brilliant psychologists in India for the time, and she has worked intensively in the field of psychology and NLP coaching. She has also worked with a lot of government projects, and she's a par excellence in what she does. Thank you so much, Safina, for taking out time. And I think today's session is very, very important. And trust me, when I see my employees here, in the age of around 18 to maximum 25, 28, not to say that relationship issues, heartbreaks only comes in this age, but I understand, and I know that it is comes in every age. And my 15 years of experience says that this is one of the most topic that has come over for me in counseling sessions. And I request everyone to please have this session heard very, very closely and understand what Safina wants to say, because I think this is something really, really important. Apart from this, relationship at work is also equally important and very, very important for how we take our, interact with our teams, how we interact with our leaders, how we interact with our peers is extremely important. Right. And over to you, Safina. It's always great to have you in our panel. And thank you so much, Antarman.
Thank you so much, Swati ma'am. Thank you so much, Manjeet ma'am, and as well as Vipasha for this opportunity and your lovely introduction. Yeah, so before we could get started with the session, okay, I wanted to give few tips to all the audience and who are presented here. When we are doing the session, okay, so if you have any questions, if you wanted to ask any questions, please type it in the chat box, okay, and we would address all the questions that is being asked. And I request all of you to unmute yourself, because to make sure that the session is going smoothly. Okay, and the third thing is the session what we are doing today, I'm sure like you must be very excited to know what is this relationship at workplace, right? If you can hear me, if you can listen to me, can you please type it in the chat box as BIO, bring it on. Thank you so much. Okay, well, when we talk about like relationship, do you know, alone we can do little, but together we can do so much. How many of you will agree with this statement? If you agree with this statement, please type it in the chat box, yes. And if you don't agree with the statement, please type it in the chat box as no. When we are doing any kind of sessions like this, please make sure that we wanted to have the cooperation from everyone, okay, so that we will be able to get connected with each other. Yeah, if you agree with the statement, type yes, and if you don't agree with the statement, please type it as no. All right, I see a lot of S, and I see a couple of them are saying no as well. All right, so I'm sure by end of the session, so the people who are saying no, they will get to know that this is going to be S. All right, so now I have a question for you. When I say relationship, what according to you is a relationship? Can you just please ponder your thoughts? What exactly is the meaning of relationship when you hear the word, when you see the word, and when you see the slide? What do you understand? What is relationship according to you? Bonding, okay, great. Need, all right. Yes, knowing each other, yes. Caring, all right, okay. Understanding between people, okay. Rapport, understanding, all right. I'm looking for two most important things when I'm talking about a relationship, which my slide also says, and at the same time, what is the topic of the session? This is basically a small hint for you. Yes, companionship, trust and respect, belief, connection, all right. Okay, well, now let's see what exactly is relationship. Okay, so the term relationship is rooted from the word relation, and it is defined as a mutual affiliation or a connection between individual, group, and a people or entities, also self. You know, most of the time when we talk about a relationship, people will think that, okay, so the relationship with the people, relationship with the group, relationship with the entities. But we always forget that relationship is with self first. Before we could build a relationship with people, before we could build a relationship with group, before we could build a relationship with any kind of an entities, okay, it is always important that first we need to build a relationship with self. Do you all agree with this? If you agree that you need to build a relationship with self, okay, then we build a relationship with the rest of the world. Type S in the chat box. Thank you so much. I see a lot of S. Okay, so now if we wanted to talk about like what is the definition of a healthy relationship? According to me, what is the definition of a healthy relationship is basically it's a trust. Okay, so any relationship that we wanted to build, the first important foundation is trust. So the trust is something like this. When you wanted to construct a home, what is the first thing that you lay? That is the foundation, right? So in any relationship, the first thing as a foundation is basically a trust. So what is the meaning of a trust? It's a very huge word, right? So what exactly is a trust is, this is a foundation of every good relationship. When you trust your team and colleagues, you're from powerful bond that helps you to work and communicate more effectively. If you trust the people you work with, you can be open and honest to your thoughts and actions, and you don't have to waste your time and energy watching your back. How many of you will agree this? Most of the time when we are into the workspace, we always think, should I trust? Should I not trust? Why do I need to trust? What has he done for me? What has she done for me? We always get such kind of a thoughts. When we are getting such kind of a thoughts, we are not focusing for the purpose why we are in the workplace. So if we wanted to have a fruitful like our career and also a fruitful environment in our workplace, it is always advisable that you must have a trust. See, I'm not telling that we should trust everyone, okay, but what I believe is trusting is our option, okay. Keeping the trust is opposite person's reaction. So we should not be focusing on what other person think about it, whether he will keep the trust or not, but what we request is always you give your 100% so that the opposite person give you 200%. Yeah, for that, the first foundation in any of the workplace for a healthy communication, for a healthy lifestyle, for a healthy career, trust. Start building a good relationship and communicate with the co-colleagues and build a powerful bond, because when you start trusting, you will build a bond. When you start building a bond, you will be open, you will be honest, and you can share whatever the thoughts that you have, and you will have a different sort of an energy. Yeah, do you all agree with me? If you agree with me, please type it in the chat box that you agree. And if you have any questions in building a relationship, how do we need to build a relationship? I have a problem in building a relationship. Please type it in the chat box. I would be very happy to help you. Thank you. I see a lot of people saying that, yes, it's a trust. So now, following with the trust, what is most important? Mutual respect. I respect you, you respect me. Most of the time in a day-to-day life, what happens? If you notice, consciously or subconsciously, how the world has become now, you know, okay, fine, why do I need to respect that person when the person doesn't respect me? When all of us start thinking like this, no one respect will anyone. So what is it that we will have to do? We will have to put one step ahead in respecting. That is a mutual respect. When you respect the people who you work with, you value their input and ideas, and they value yours. Working together, you can develop a solution based on the collective insights, wisdom, and creativity. See, the simple question when I started the session, I asked, what is the meaning of a relationship according to you? When I was asking this question, I got so many answers. Like some people were telling about understanding, some people were talking about like companion, some people were like, they were having a different opinions. Okay, everyone are right in their own perspective. So now what happens when we start mutually respecting with each other? Okay, at that time, we start developing our collective thoughts, and we can build our wisdom and also creativity, because you are sharing one thought and 100 people are sharing 100 thoughts, which means that we are able to get 100 different thoughts, maybe in the form of creativity, maybe in the form of wisdom. So we are improving. So what builds us creativity, what builds us wisdom, what builds us developing a solution is a mutual respect. You start respecting your team, you start respecting your friends, you start respecting your colleagues, so automatically they will also start respecting you. Yeah, so are we in the same page? Like trust and mutual respect is really very important when we are in the workplace. How many of you feel this is really very important when we are in the workplace? If you feel this is really important, please type it in the chat box as IMPT. Yes, give respect and take respect. We have so many thoughts, but how many of us are really following it? Very few people we are following this, but what is the message today is, let's stick to it and we follow every other one and also start respecting each other. Yes, so the next one is mindfulness. So what is the meaning of mindfulness? This means taking responsibility of your words and actions. Those who are mindful are careful to attend what they say, and they don't let their own negative emotions impact the people around them. So this one, I would like to quote with an example. How many of you feel when you go back to home, okay, and maybe your spouse, maybe your kids, maybe your parents ask you the question, today you seems to be dull, what happened to you? Even though you are good, even though you're feeling good, but sometimes you start feeling, okay, because of the kind of questions your spouse starts asking you, are you okay? What happened to you? You feel tired. Was there a traffic? Did you had a very hectic day at office? You will have lot of these questions coming in, okay? And by the time you're entering your home, you didn't had anything, no tiredness, no nothing. You are just going with the flow. But how many of you have realized the moment people start asking this kind of a questions, which will put you down, and automatically your subconscious start giving an answer, yeah, there was a lot of traffic in the road today. I had a very hectic day. My boss is not happy with whatever the work I am doing. Okay, you start getting this kind of a question, you start getting this kind of a thoughts. Do you agree with me? Are you facing this problem? You are totally fine. But when people start asking you a question, one question at multiple times, what happened? You seems to be dull. Okay, what happened? You seems to be dull. What happened? You seems to be dull. Automatically, your energy is just draining, right? Like that, you will have to be in that place and what is the kind of a language that you use, what is the kind of a words that you use, which impact the people is really more important. Yeah. So at the same time, if I have to ask you another question, how in everyone's life there are two people. One is a person who, the moment the person comes into our life, we feel like, oh, finally this person came, and we get happiness. Suddenly we start feeling happy and we can see a smile on our face. But at the same time, there is another person, the moment he enters, we feel like, oh, why did this person came? He's going to spoil our entire day. Are you facing this kind of a problem? I'm sure in every day-to-day life, every person is having two people in the life. Okay, so one category of a people is like, the moment you see them, you feel like, wow, this person is really important. Okay, when this person comes, okay, I forget everything. Okay, and I start getting along with it. Okay, there is another category of a person. What happens the moment he enters, we start feeling, oh, why did he come? He is just there to suck our energy, and it's gonna spoil our entire mood. Are you feeling this kind of a feeling by seeing someone? Yes. So now here is an invitation for you, for all of you. I wanted to ask you, what is it, the person that you wanted to be in someone's life? Whether you want to be a person in someone's life like, wow, or you wanted to be a person in someone's life like, A, what is it that you wanted? If you want to be wow, then type it as wow. If you want to be as A, then type it as A. Yeah, I see most of the people are saying wow. Okay, when you wanted to be wow, so what is it that important is, you will have to have a mindfulness. What is mindfulness? The kind of a language that we use, the kind of a body language that we use, which impact people to respond positively, is mindfulness. Yeah, you will have to be the person who creates a positivity among the people, right? Whenever you feel like getting angry, whenever you feel like negative, just think of this statement that, okay, I need to be wow in someone's life, and I don't want to be a yay people in someone's life. Okay, and automatically you look at yourself, the kind of a smile that you get on your face will shift the entire energy, right? So now moving back to the next, okay, welcome diversity. What is the meaning of welcome diversity? People with a good relationship not only accept the diverse people and the opinions, but also welcome them. Okay, what exactly is the meaning? Okay, so in this session, whoever are the leaders, whoever are the team leads, okay, I would like to take this example, and I wanted to invite you to listen to this statement very carefully. When someone is coming and sharing anything with you, please don't be in a hurry or be in a judgment to immediately respond them. Okay, just allow them to share their thoughts, just accept what they are trying to say, understand what they are trying to say, respect others' opinion, and then you put across your opinion. Please do not stop them by sharing. Please do not get into judgment. Please do not do all of that things. Allow them to share, allow them to accept, and you also accept, and then start sharing your thoughts. When you start sharing this thought, you will see your team will be the best team, and it will have a lot of a positive impact. Okay, why there is a negativity in some of the teams? Okay, see, this is a corporate culture, like whichever the company we go, wherever we go, most of the time we feel that, okay, my team lead is not good. Okay, and the team lead sees that my team is not understanding me. They are not going to do this. Have you ever noticed this is all a blame game? And at the same time, who is responsible for this? The responsible for this is self. When I start blaming my team, which means that there is some problem in me. When I start blaming my team lead, which means that the problem is in me, because everything is in my hand. You remember, your emotion triggers your reaction. Okay, so to welcome a good relationship with the people, please listen to them. Okay, please accept their opinions. Okay, whether they are right, whether they are wrong, do not get into judgment, because no one are perfect. And at the same time, if they are wrong, please allow them to speak, please accept them, and then put it across in a right way, how they can understand you, so that you build a positive environment in the workplace. Yeah, that is welcoming a diversity. So now what's next? Open communication. What is open communication? We communicate all day, whether we are sending emails or IMs or meeting face to face, the better and the more effective way to communicate around you is a richer relationship will be. All good relationship depends on honest communication. Now, what is the meaning of honest? You have any problem with the person, solve with the person, okay? Speak to the person, not about the person, okay? The moment you speak to the person, you will have a healthy relationship and you will be able to build important relationships as well, okay? Now, what's next? Why relationships at workplace is important? Why relationships at workplace is important? I would like to hear from you. Before I could go to the next slide, I would like to hear from you why relationships at a workplace is really very important. Okay, conflict in team, making one team and now team into 3-3. Okay, don't want to listen and what they should be done. Okay, all right. Together achieve common goal. Perfect. Okay, amazing. Okay, so now I would like to give you one more hint when I'm asking this question, why relationship at workplace is very important. Okay, if you go to the back square one, okay, so in every work we always say that there is a team. Okay, what is the purpose of a team? Why are we framing a team? Why are we creating a team? Why is it important? Teamwork, all right, to achieve common goals, to reach target. Perfect. I'm receiving a very wonderful thoughts. Okay, I wanted to ask yourself whatever that we were able to pour in the answers here, common goal, reach target, share thoughts, okay, workplace, 10 more of the time. Are we sticking to it? Are we following that? Job satisfaction, are we following that? Is it something which is stopping us by doing all of these things? Remember, whatever the thoughts that you have poured in, that is really very important. And ask to yourself, ask to your subconscious, am I doing it? Yeah? So now, importance of the relationship in the workplace. What is important in the relationship? Just a moment, I'm just sharing my slide again. Okay, guys, are you able to see my screen? If you are able to see my screen, please type it in the chat box that you can see my screen and you are able to see my screen. Yes, you're able to see my screen, or yes, thank you so much. I'm sorry, my screen was not visible so far. Okay, all right. Yes. So now, what makes your job worthwhile? This is one of the $1,000,000 question for everyone who are attending, be it a team lead, be it admin, be it a manager, be it a co-colleagues or whoever is attending. Okay. Can you just tell me, can you just ponder your thoughts? What makes your job worthwhile? I would like to hear an answer from all of you. Okay, what makes your job worthwhile? See, we always must understand one thing. Why are we doing a job? Okay, so if I ask a question, I have asked a question to many people. When I ask them, where are you going? They will say that I'm going for my work. Why are you going for a work? People say to work. But you know what is the answer? People are going to work to earn money. But they forget that answer. They are going to earn money. At the same time, what makes your job worthwhile? And this is something related to money. See, let's be very honest. Let's be very shameful today and understand and accept the fact that we are all working for money. At the same time, we are working for values, skills, knowledge, everything. I agree with due respect. But the common goal of every person to work is money. Okay. So now the question what is there on the screen, what makes your job worthwhile, okay, it's something related to money. So can I request all of you to pour in your answers? What makes your job worthwhile? For learning and for money. Perfect. All right. What makes your job worthwhile? True, money. Perfect. Quality and time. Yes. Quality and time, and again money. Yes, perfect. The people we get to know during the work makes worthwhile, and of course for the salary. Wonderful answer. Okay, now let's see what exactly our job makes worthwhile. Yeah. As per my understanding and as per my research with most of the people and the philanthropists and all of these things, what makes the job worthwhile is my company, organization is working productively or profitable. Am I rewarded for my efforts at work? I have a good relationship with my colleagues. I get on well with my supervisor or a boss. Do you think if we have all of these things, we are able to make enough money? Do you agree with me? If we have organization working productively and profitably, and I am rewarded with my efforts at work, and I have a good relationship with my colleagues, I get on well with the supervisor or a boss, do you think my job is worthwhile for making enough money? If you agree with this, please type it in the chat box that you agree. If you don't agree, I'm open to take the feedback. If you agree, organization, the working productively and profitably, I am rewarded for the efforts that I work, and I have a good relationship with my colleagues. I get on well with my supervisor or a boss. I see a lot of agree, and I see at the same time not necessarily. So I appreciate your answer also, and I accept that as well. But at the same time, let me just give you a small example, okay? So basically what happens, we will not be able to get a job satisfaction that we are doing, okay? And not necessarily that all these points may be true. The reason behind is because this looks very fancy. But to look this fancy, are we working towards achieving this? The slides which we spoke about, trust, mutual, okay, welcome diversity, good relationship, mindfulness. Do you think if we follow that, we will be able to build a very productive and profitable organization? Do you think our efforts can make us earn more money than my supervisor or the boss? Yeah. So the moment you start doing all of these things, then whatever the efforts that you are giving, the relationship with your colleagues and the supervisor or the boss automatically make your job worthwhile. I again repeat, it's a job worthwhile. Here, I'm not discussing or talking about the job satisfaction, but that's a whole different topic. Okay, so I'm talking about a job worthwhile. Okay, be it this job what you are doing, be it a job what you are doing at home. Okay, it can be anything that you would like to connect with. When we are having this basic foundation, then we are able to make our job worthwhile. Next, what people say contribute to their wellness being at work. I know that every day we are attending the wellness session and we have been pondering with our thoughts, the sessions are really helping and all of these things, okay? But after the session, okay, and in day-to-day life, what do you exactly think? What people say contribute their wellness being at work? How important the wellness is being at work, and how is this related for managing your positive relationship at workplace? May I have some answers for this? What people say to their wellness being at work. Wellness is important to build a relationship. Okay, what exactly is the meaning of a wellness? Wellness being at work. I feel that this is a very complicated question I have asked. Yes, okay, relaxing, good, perfect, all right. Now let me see what my slide says. Okay, I know what is expected of me at work. Okay, sometimes we used to learn about the job priority towards company, feel motivated. Yes, yes, amazing confidence. Yes. Okay, so now let's see what my slide says. I know what is expected of me at work. I have the materials and equipments I need to do my work right. At work, I have the ability to do what I do best every day. In the last 7 days, I have received recognition or praise for doing good work. My supervisor or a boss or someone at work seems to care about me as a person. There is someone at work who encourages my development. At work, my opinion seems to count. The mission, purpose of my company makes me feel that my job is important. My associates, colleagues are committed in doing quality work. I have a best friend at work. In past 6 months, someone at the work has talked with me about my progress. This last year, I have had an opportunity to work and learn and grow. What I feel is these 12 important points are really, really very important. Okay, so these, according to me, is the wellness mantra that everyone must have in their desk, right in front of them, okay, where you can get to see this every time, so that you don't need a motivation from people, you can get self-motivated. And at the same time, when you are expecting all of these things from your boss, from a supervisor, from everyone, I would request today you choose one thing. Okay, so maybe you choose one thing. There is someone at work who encourages me my development. That's a 6 point. Okay, you choose that point. So before you could expect people to ponder these encouragement to you, you go and talk to your friend or your team or your colleague and encourage them. Remember, the wellness mantra works as same as give respect and take respect. When you are expecting something from someone, then it is always important that first we will have to do, then we expect. But most of the time, what we do it in our life is we stop doing, but we start expecting. So what I request today is, out of these 12 things, choose one mantra and see and apply this to yourself. Talk to your best friend, praise him, and you see how abundantly that you will be receiving the blessings. It's as simple as that. You bless someone, like God bless you, child, okay, and you start you're receiving everything. You know how does it work? It's basically a law of attraction. So what is law of attraction? That's a whole different topic, okay, but I would like to just touch upon here. The morning when you wake up, and when you say, okay, you wake up with a very good mindset, and you want to go to office and you don't have a mood, but most and what we think is, oh, today I should not find a traffic, okay, let me go office aram se, okay, but what happens? Automatically you start seeing the traffic. Do you all agree with me? The moment you think that I should not have a traffic before leaving from home, you will be having this thought, and automatically you start seeing the traffic the whole road. Do you agree with this? If you agree, please type it in the chat box if you have experienced this. Yeah, of course, yes. So it's just like that. Okay, what you don't want, you start accepting it. So what we do, we will have to be very mindful in our language and the words that we communicate. So pick up one thing, start praising the people, and see the magic that universe will help you, that you start receiving it double, triple. I have experienced this in my life. Okay, whenever I feel low, I just pick up the phone and talk to the person whom I like, and I start praising him. Automatically my energy shifts, and there will be some kind of a chemical reaction in my body that I'm shifting from negativity to positivity. If you have not done this, here is my invitation for all of you. If you want, take a screenshot of this slide. This is a wellness mantra. Okay, keep this right in front of your desk. Trust me, this will really, really, really help. Yeah, do you all agree with me? How many of you will be able to take up this seriously? If you are able to take it up, and if this session is helping you, please type it in the chat box as yes. Definitely yes. Thank you so much. So now, okay, this is what we expect from our life, okay, from our workplace. So when we are expecting, make sure that we are also following the same thing. Just yes. So do you all agree with this? Let's move ahead for the next slide. Just give me a moment. Okay. Can you see my screen? If you can see my screen, please type it in the chat box that you are able to see my screen. Yes. How do we develop effective relationship? Okay. Again, there are a few things like how do we develop? This is a very simple tips. Okay. I quickly finish this. Okay. Develop your people skill. Okay. What is the meaning of a develop your people skill? Okay. We always surrounded with the people with introvert and extrovert. There are some people who speak a lot. There are some people who doesn't speak. Okay. So the people who speak, that's well and good. It's just the invitation for all of you here is just see and mind what you're speaking and how you're speaking. Okay. And the people who doesn't speak, who are introvert and always think that what other people think about me when I speak like this. Okay. Will my communication be okay when I'm talking? Okay. So is it okay if I can speak? What in case if I do these mistakes? All of this don't know. It will actually put down our energy down. But please do not bother for all of that things. Develop your people skill. Okay. So the best way to develop your people skill is when you are free, stand right in front of the mirror, pick up one topic and talk to self. When you start building this, automatically you will build skill, because you must always understand if we wanted to adopt anything and if we wanted to learn anything, it is not required that we will have to go to the people to learn. Okay. It is a self. Okay. Anything that we do, we learn self. Okay. So start in front of the mirror, start talking to yourself and see whether you're liking it or not liking it, and identify what you're not liking it. When the thing what you don't like, assume that the people will not like, and then you start practicing how to make it better. Yeah. Make sense? Okay, so the next one is good relationships start with the good people skill. For instance, how well you collaborate, communicate, and deal with the conflict. The next is schedule your time to build a relationship. Always give time to your relationship. Don't show your back when people wanted to talk to you. Okay. Always remember, today you are not giving importance. Tomorrow they might not give the importance to you. Okay. So always give a time to build a relationship, be it at workplace, be it at like personal space, be it at home, be it at social life, anything. Yeah. Devote a portion of your day towards a relationship building, even if it is just 20 minutes, perhaps broken up into 5-minute segments. For example, you could pop into someone's office during lunch and ask for a colleague for an out and quick cup of coffee. This is a wonderful session wherein I'm able to practice this myself. Okay, see, always when we go to the workspace, we have a common time for the lunch, right? Do you all agree with this? Okay, if I have to ask you, why do we have a common time for the lunch, be it in school, be it in the corporate life, or wherever it may be? Can you please type it in the chat box? Why we have a common time for taking a lunch and also like a break in school, in corporate place, in our companies, and everywhere? Why do we have a common time? Is it just because to manage? Can you just put in your thoughts for this? Relationship building is main agenda, yes. But how many of us are building the relationship? This is the time where no one is watching you. Please make sure to utilize this time much better. Talk to the people and do not sit with the common people every day. Try shifting the people. Know as many people as you can. Try to talk to the people. Pick up the people. Okay, so today I need to talk to this team. Today I need to talk this team. Okay, so start picking up the people when you are given this kind of a time. Remember, okay, what is the time that you have got now? You will not be able to get it in future. So I always start my day in the morning when I wake up by saying this mantra, that is, today is the best day for the rest of my life. Yeah, today is the best day for the rest of my life, because I don't know what's going to happen in the next 20 minutes. So why do I need to focus on that? And why do I need to focus for what has been already happened? Right? So what we should live our life is like, today is the best day for the rest of my life. Okay, so today is the best day that I pick up this person to talk and I get to know more people. Yeah. Then focus on your EI. What is EI? EI is nothing but your emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? Again, what you speak, how you speak is really very important at your workplace, right? It depends on the kind of people that you are communicating. So please have an eye watch on your language and the kind of words that you use. Okay, and then we have intelligence among other things. This is your ability to recognize your own emotions, clearly understand what they are telling you. High EI also helps you in understand the other people. Yeah. So now when you understand other people's EI, emotional intelligence, then you will be able to understand your emotional intelligence as well. Okay, which means that, okay, when someone is crying, and how many of you feel that you also cry? Okay, let me take this example. When you're watching a movie, someone is crying, okay, how many of you will start crying without even knowing that you're also crying? The tears start rolling from your eyes. If you resonate for that, please type it as I do. Yes, I see a lot of I do. So which means that your EQ is too high. So what we need to do, we need to work on your EQ to balance your EI. Okay, so what is this? We will connect in the next session. Yeah. Listen actively. When you listen actively to others, and others will listen to you actively. So start building the ability to listen to the people when others want to listen to you. Always remember, the entire relationship mantra is on give and take policy. What goes around comes around. All right. When you talk to your customers, colleagues, people respond to those who truly listen to what you have say. Focus on listening more than talk, and you will quickly become known as someone who can be trusted. The best example for this is how many of you feel, okay, so my team is really good because he listens to me everything. He listens what I'm speaking. Most of the time in the life, what happens, you know, even I was also like that. Okay, I'm very talkative. I used to do like that itself. Okay, when people listen to me, I really feel very, 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 very good. Okay, but at the same time, when people are talking to me, I was not listening. I was always in the process, like, when will I answer them? I was always getting into a jump, okay, by concluding what they wanted to say, and at the same time, getting into a communication immediately without listening to them. So which will actually not help in building the relationship. At that time, what happens, we are somewhere breaking the connection in our relationship, because going to get the name as the person is not ready to listen to us. Why do we need to talk to this person? Always remember, we would like to talk to the person who is listening to us. This is what we want. When we want this, then you must also start listening, which means that start developing your listening skills to build an effective and the positive relationship in your workplace. Okay, all right. So now, before I could go to the next slide, I would like to hear from you. Do you have any questions? Are we going in the right path? Is the session is helping you out? If so, please type it in the chat box. Please type it in the chat box if you're able to connect with me and if this session has been helping you out. I'm waiting for a few more chats because I see 480 plus people are there. Okay, well, thank you so much. I see that most of the people, can the host give me the access for sharing the screen? Yes. Okay, so now this is very, very important. With this, I'm just going to take maybe 10 more minutes. Okay, and let's see like what people talk about this. What do people bring with them to the workplace? Do you agree the people bring personal and professional to the workplace? Most of the time, what people bring to the workplace is personal and professional, right? So when they bring personal and professional, start giving the equal importance, and it's just that we will have to start prioritizing ourselves and start respecting the place that where we are. Okay, so what happens, why do they bring that is because of our emotions. Okay, so emotion is such a kind of a feeling. It's like happiness, love, fear, anger, hatred, which can cause the situation that you are in and the people around. So positive emotions, either from your personal life or a workplace, easily conclude have beneficial effect on the workplace. Are you trying to connect something? You fought with someone at home, and you're coming back with the same thing, you're bringing that to the workplace, and you're also making your mood and your co-fellow moods also the same way, and people start asking you the questions, did you fight with your spouse today? What happened? Did your mom scold you today? Yeah. Yes, most of the time these all things happens, and at the same time you take the positive emotions to the workplace, automatically you start building the positive environment. And the moment you bring in to bring the negative emotions, and automatically you bring in the negative emotions. Now let's understand, when these kind of an emotions, what exactly happens? It brings us a conflict. What is a conflict? Conflict is a most general state of a negative feeling about another and the behavior. Most of the time we are in the negative feeling, and today we have someone new person coming into our floor, and he's asking us something, but we are in the negative state of mind, and what he's asking we are not going to answer for that, but we answer rest of everything else. So what did we do? Did we build a relationship, or we showed our behavior so that the relationship breakage was there, right? So that is not allowed. Okay, so why it is not allowed, how it is not allowed, during the sequence of this relationship management sessions we would be covering that. Okay, conflict is often disguised as a dispute about the facts, incidents, and events. Behavior, it looks. What is emotions? It's a, yes, it's a breakage of a relationship will happen. That's an amazing answer. Yeah, so like it can be resolved by investigating and clarifying. Okay, there is a solution for everything. It's just that we don't have the thinking ability or a process to find and investigate or clarify the solution. Okay, so key to managing conflict, understanding that is about a feeling, not just the facts. Do you agree with this? If you agree with this kind of a conflicts, when we bring in personal and professional relationship at workplace, please type it as agree. I see agree. Thank you. Now let's understand, how do we transform these conflicts? Understand the past, what issue or incidents precipitate disputes of the factor that lead to the ongoing conflict. Appreciate the present, how people have been affected by the conflict, what are the consequences. Focus on the future and action plan by repairing the harm that has been done or what will happen in the future. Which means, in short, if I wanted to say, rather than concentrating on what happened in the past, just take what happened in the past and see how you can rectify and how you can make it productive, so that you need not to repeat that in the future. Okay, see, again I repeat, there are 3 emotions that triggers our action. That is flight, that is fight, and that is freeze. I take up this point in all my sessions. Fight is nothing but we are having an ability to fight, that is move on. Okay, and we are having an ability to fight. Okay, I have this problem, I'm not going to give up, I'm going to fight rather than just blaming. Yes. And next again, then the freeze. Okay, so what happens in the freeze is, some of the people, they are stuck in past just because of the fear of a grip that they are having. Oh, what in case if I have done this mistake again? Okay, yesterday I went to the party and I was not looking well, people were talking about me, and they are stuck. They are not going to improvise themselves like, how do I look much better in my next session, but rather what they happen, they are going to freeze it. Okay, what makes you freeze? That's an amazing. Okay, the ability of not taking the action which will help you in freezing self. Okay, that means that yesterday I was not looking well, so now what I'm doing, I'm following the same thing. Okay, fine, yesterday I was not looking well, and I have so many people who are talking about me a bad things. Okay, no, I'm not gonna go for the party. This is called as a freeze. But what you must do is, you must start fighting it. Okay, I wasn't well, so what? And let's see how I can improvise myself and I go to the party next because I'm expecting a compliment, right? So this is how you need to fight, okay? And this is how we can transform our conflicts, okay? So what is next? How to build a relationship in the workplace, okay? Understand your strengths and weakness before you could expect anything from anyone. Schedule your time to develop a relationship. Ask quick questions and listen. Offer assistance whenever is required for anyone, be it from your team or be it not from your team. Don't let your ego to come in between. Know when to ask for assistance. Appreciate each employee's role. Do not criticize, okay? Keep your commitments. Be present in the workplace. With this, I have come to an end of the session of managing of a relationship. And I'm sure like this session might have been helpful for you. And I'm very glad to see the number of participations and the kind of responses that I'm receiving. And please go ahead and shoot out your questions in case if you have. I would be very happy to help you. Anyone has any questions?
Sapina, I'll request you. Thank you so much for such wonderful words. Such nice learning. We missed on seeing some of the slides as I could see on the left. While you were presenting. If you could just, I think it will be great if we could grab them as well.
All right, I will just quickly take you through the slides. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Just give me a moment. I'm just taking you through the slides. Yes. Can you see my slides now? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see the screen.
All right. Okay. So
if you could just present it, it'll be great, if you could, everyone.
Yes, yes, yes. I will do that. Okay.
I can see very beautiful colors and things been written. I think my vision also we can capture a lot of learning.
Thank you so much. This actually colors are really very important when we wanted to build a relationship, because what I believe and what people believe is like relationship is all about the colorful. Yeah. So do you know alone we can do so little, but we together can do much, which means the combination. Can you see the waves here and the different colors? And how many of you feel that there is a soothing color when I play this slide? And the next is like, what according to you is a relationship? According to me, a relationship is like locking out yourself, okay, rather than locking out with anyone else. So first we must lock out ourselves and then we lock out with others. Yeah. Then this is what is relationship according to me. And I feel that relationship is a colorful birds. Okay, it's basically like a birds where they start flying. Okay, and when you see the slide, the birds, the people and all, they are connecting with each other. Okay, you see there are two things in this slide. Okay, in the image when I'm just scrolling my cursor, you can see this is the people who are connectivity, and it looks so beautiful when we collaborate with people with trust, mutual respect, mindfulness, welcoming diversity, and open communication. But at the same time, you can see here the people are scattered. Okay, when the people are scattered without holding a support of anyone and without these pillars, what happens? We may always have a fear of falling. This is the sky. Okay, when it is like this, we are very comfortable and confident that we know if we are about to fall, then we have someone to hold. But when we are seeing this, we always have a fear of falling, right? So this is what is the relationship represents according to me. What is relationship according to me at the workplace is really very important. It's a triangle. So with, the triangle represents like one is a team, one is a company, and one is a self. So when you wanted to work in the workplace, all the three triangles are equally important. Even if one thing is not there.
We still see the slide 5. If you're talking about slide 6, I think you need.
Oh, okay. I don't know what
We
is the
missed on
problem.
seeing slide 4 as well. I will request. I'm sure entire team is interested in seeing it. If you could,
Okay, you didn't see the fifth slide, right?
yeah, we missed on the 4th one as well.
Fourth one, this is the relationship according to me. But lot of the people, you can see white, blue, cream, all of these things. It's a combination of a people. Okay, it's
We're
like
not
10.
able to see the screen. Sorry.
You're not able to see the screen? Okay. I don't know what is the issue. Okay, now can you see?
Yes, I can see this. I just we had missed this one. Wow.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. So now can you see this slide which I was talking about?
Yes.
Okay, so this is what I was talking about. Okay, if you see this, you have like confident so that you can fly together. Okay, but when you are not when you are scattered, you always have a fear of losing or falling down. Okay, and this is possible when we build trust, mutual respect, mindfulness, welcoming in diversity, and open communication. I'm sure my slides are still visible. Why the relationship at workplace is important? This is the triangle which I was talking about. Each triangle is equally important. The corner of each triangle represents me, my team, and my company. Even if one is missing, then I won't be able to build a healthy relationship. Do you agree with this? If you agree with this, please type it in the chat box. And I'm sorry I have missed out some chats because of the slides. I will surely read all the chats and I will respond to you. Yeah. And yes, so this is what the slides, and after this, I'm sure you might have seen all the slides. Now I would request all of you to head to the question and answer sessions so that I can answering for whatever the questions that you have related to the managing and relationship.
Hi, Vipasha here.
Yes,
I've
Vipasha.
got a question in the chat. I think Sushma asked us. People
Yeah.
we have a question in the chat by Sushma.
Okay. Vipasha, if you don't mind, can you just read out the question for me, because I think I have missed out some of the chat.
I will do that for you, Ms. Sabina. So Shushma is answering a question. People with work pressure and family pressure cannot concentrate on work. Also, because of pressure, they build negative thoughts and will have thoughts of quitting job, but they can't quit job because of the family maintenance. So how to overcome this situation?
Wonderful. Most of the people are going through this situation, especially due to the current pandemic and all. And I would like to address this in such a way. First of all, we will have to start prioritizing our family time and as well as our work time. And we will have to have an open communication with the family. Before having an open communication, first of all, I would request you to jot down what is the problem from your family. Why are you feeling that kind of a pressure? What is that pressure? What is the points? What is the problem that is creating a pressure on you? Okay. See, remember always the thoughts are something like this, okay, which comes and which goes, okay. But when pressure is there, which means that it is very important to allow your subconscious to know what exactly it is. And when you know what exactly is the problem, then you will be able to identify the answer. But here what's happening, as per the question, what I understand is the family pressure is there. Maybe they want more time of yours towards the family, and in the work you have given a lot of work and you will have to complete that also, you will have to complete this also. Okay, what I see here is the lack of a time management. Okay, why does the lack of a time management happens? Because of the clarity. So if you wanted to have a clarity, and if we wanted to do this, the best practice is the time management, okay, and goal clarity. And most importantly, what I suggest is like start doing a meditation and start doing a mindfulness practice, okay. And Sushma, I would be really very happy to take this as one-on-one session, and just allow me 45 minutes for one-on-one. I will be able to take you through the entire process of how to balance your work life and as well as family pressure. I think I'm able to answer what Sushma is trying to say.
Very true.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Next question.
Right. I'll request everyone, if you have any questions, anything to ask, please feel free to type into the chat window. We will be more than happy to help you with the same. All right, Ms. Safina, I think no such questions are there. So I'll request everyone, to share in one takeaway from the session, one learning, one thing, which was, I would say, a wow factor in the session. The entire session was beautiful, but something that, has made you to learn something that you would like to implement with, in your life from today itself. I will really appreciate if you could just note it down on the chat window. Will be a learning for entire team. So I'll request, we still have 330 people. I'll request everyone to share in your feedback, your learning, your takeaway from the session. It means a lot for us. Over to you, Ms. Safina, if you have something to say.
Yes, I just wanted to tell people like when it comes to relationship, always my mantra. Okay, so when you are expecting something, please, 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 you give it first so that you automatically receive it, and start following this from today, and you see the miracles happening in your life. And at the same time, whatever the wellness mantra that the slide that I was showing it to you, please follow that, okay? Or maybe something related to it, or maybe something which is empowering you every day, so that these will actually impact for our whole positivity of a day. Remember, your one reaction is affecting the entire environment, be it at work, be it at home, be it with social, be it with anyone. And I would request people to just give one learning that you had in this whole session, so that when others are reading, they will also be able to connect with it. I think Manjeet, now you can just take it over from here. So I'm just here itself. If anyone is having any kind of a questions, I will be able to respond, and a couple of them have privately messaged me, but I will make sure that it is confidential, and I would request Vipasha to schedule and take it forward this.
Definitely, Safina. We'll connect with them one-on-one. No worries.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for being actively participating, everyone responding to Ms. Safina for whatever, we were asked. It's really appreciable. I'll request everyone, to do us a favor, and, it will be a learning for everyone. So I'll request you, like I can see Varsha has responded very well. And I'll request everyone present in the session to please share in one takeaway. I'm sure a lot of there were 12 mantras shared by Safina. I have taken them and I'll work on to practice. I'll request everyone to share in one takeaway. It will be a great learning for the entire team. Please feel free to type into the chat window. Your feedback is also appreciated. Any suggestions you want, anything you want to plan next as an activity or a session, please feel free to. All right, I can see one question by Jasbir Kaur. How to manage our personal life as well as professional life was well covered in this section. Okay, so that's what feedback. Thank you so much. All right. Any questions, suggestions, feedback? Please feel free to, type into the chat window. All right, I think Vipasha, everyone is done with. In case if someone is left, please share in your feedback or your learning. Thank you so much, Sushma, for such wonderful feedback. Anyone still left, please feel free to, type into the chat window. We would love to, capture your feedback and your suggestions. Vipasha will wait for another 5 minutes so that, everyone can share in.
Definitely, Safina. I can still see that participants are sharing their feedback. It is wonderful to read.
Safina, Miss Safina, I can see Chavi is asking if we think communication create more pressure, can we make ourselves silent in that situation? I think it's a question of Chavi. She wants to get more clarity on this.
Okay, let me just check. If we think communication create more pressure, can we make ourselves silent in the situation? Okay, so Chavi, I would suggest like you should not make yourself silent in the situation, but at the same time, you will have to understand what is that communication is all about. If that communication is creating a pressure, then you will have to understand what is it that it is creating a pressure. Is it an argument? It is a conflict, or what it is? Okay, and at the same time, being silent for that moment is okay, because when you are silent at that moment, you are trying to listen and accept. Okay, and don't be in the process of responding it to them or jumping into any kind of a judgment or any kind of like cross communication. Just allow them to speak, understand, and then just be relaxed. And the best way is start counting.
Yeah, and I also want to add here, Safina, for specifically to answer to Chavi is, sometimes in situations, we think of speaking to prove a point. And then at that moment, everybody else around us, we think whatever they are saying, it is creating a pressure in communication, and I should put my point because others are not able to understand me. We put more effort to make them understand ourselves, then the chain keeps running and nobody is coming to any conclusion. So at that moment, once we really want to prove our point right is the one, unknowingly we are using our cognitive errors and creating trouble in our own life unknowingly. So yes, at that moment, as Safina suggests, we must go silent and reflect inside also. Go back also. The point which I want to say, is it only about the proving my point? Or whatever the efforts I am trying, even if I prove my point, what will be the end result? So that is also a very important piece, which especially creates so much of trouble once it is coming to our own personal life. Once we are at home and we are having discussions with our spouse or the family members, then proving a point is the one which, we think I had to stay mum, but it doesn't mean that I am wrong. And those emotions we keep carrying inside. We keep holding them. So keeping silent doesn't mean that we are not using words, but keeping silence means go and reflect inside and understand your own thought process and objective of how you are using your silence as a power tool. That's very important.
Thank you, Dr. Seema, for concluding and making it more clear in understanding. And I can still see people are sharing feedback. Really appreciate everyone taking your time and sharing your feedback. It means a lot. Any suggestions you would like to share, please do feel free to share. Anything you want to discuss further, please feel free to share. We'll take forward from here and we'll work on plan accordingly. Chavi, I think your question is answered, or if you need any more information, please feel free. All right. So thank you so much, everyone. I think we are good to go. And I would say, Ms. Safina, everyone is really loving listening. You can still see more than 182 participants there in the session. So definitely, they want to hear and learn a lot from you. And really appreciate, every time you approach and you share in something new to learn for everyone. Really appreciate it. Vipasha, I think we are done. Anyone still left to share in any feedback, suggestions? Please feel free to write into the chat window. Over to you, Vipasha.
I think, Manjeet, we can wait 2 more minutes and then I'll close the session. Will that be okay?
Sure, no problem. I can still see participation from the team. So in case if you have any more questions, please feel free to type into the chat window, or you may unmute as well. I'm sure we would love to answer. All right, I can see one question coming from Atul Turi Chandrasekhar. How to rebuild relationship broken with misunderstanding? Safina, there is one question for you.
Okay, all right. How to rebuild a relationship broken with misunderstanding. Okay, so this is a different whole session. So with this, if I have to understand misunderstanding from what exactly is the meaning of misunderstanding? So usually misunderstanding is when we don't have an open communication. So how we will have to rebuild a relationship is open communication, the trust, open communication, welcoming with diversity, communicate openly with the problem, okay, whatever it is, understand what the opposite person is trying to say and what exactly they are looking for, and try to communicate. See, the communication is the very important tool to build a relationship. When it comes to rebuilding, then three things: trust, mutual respect, open communication. Have I answered? Open communication is one of the key important for rebuilding the relationship which is broken because of the misunderstanding. Misunderstanding comes when you don't have open communication. Have I answered? Yes. Okay. All right, I see another question here. If the other person thinking in the other's perspective in that same situation. All right, again, this is a wonderful question. Okay, see, in this case, what we will have to do is we will have to allow them to speak, okay, understand and accept, then try to bring in a little shift in you as what they think and make them realize this is the best way to do. Again I say, this is again open communication. Communication is an important tool. So usually when people doesn't have a communication, is they get into the conflicts, they get into the arguments, okay, and they feel that now let's not talk, because if I talk again we will fight. Okay, that's not the way. Why it happens? Because we are cross communicating, we are not understanding, we are not having a patience. So what I suggest for this is allow them to speak, accept, okay, understand, give them a space, then bring in a little shift in you to make them understand what you were trying to say. Yeah, does it make sense? And obviously at that time the perspective will change of a people.
Hi, Safina. Hello.
Yes, Sushma.
Actually, I want to give feedback about this session personally, Safina.
Okay, yeah, please.
Actually, previously we don't know that how to build relationship. Even though we know that how to build relationship, but we don't know how to overcome the problems which will arise in relationship building.
Okay.
The situation is like in this lockdown situation, everyone are unable to manage their emotions.
Right.
Know the right way how to handle emotions in like difficult situations and normal situations. Their thinking has to be changed. Like we need to adapt to the new situation.
Yes.
As if we adapt the change, I think there will be no problems in
Yes.
like difficult situations or tough situations. We can handle them.
Yes.
Also, this situation, this session is very helpful. Like at work, we always want to like we should be first, or we are like it is like a race, but no one is
Yes.
willing to build relationship. Like we have to talk with them. Why, if there is a conflict, why can't we take the initiative and solve that issue? So we don't have that attitude of building that relationships. But after this session, like many of us will communicate openly and discuss the issues. I think conflicts will be less if this communication is open communication is there.
Yes, I agree. Thank you so much for your lovely words and sharing. Okay, so always remember, whenever we have any problem in the relationship, talk to the person, not about the person. When we talk to the person, we always able to connect. When we talk about the person, then we are getting into a conflict.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Yes.
Thank you, Safina.
Thank you so much, Sushma. Thank you so much for your lovely words.
Thank
And
you.
I'm glad that you liked it. And I'm glad to see so many of overwhelming responses here. And I'm really very happy, and I'm really very glad and very, very powerful. Like when I get associated with the team, I'm so grateful that I'm able to bring some change in someone's thoughts.
Even we people are very happy that these wellness sessions are helping a lot. They are bringing
Yes.
a change in our day-to-day life.
Yes. Right.
Thank you, Ms. Sabrina. Thank you, Sushma. Really appreciate. I would say, thank you so much for, extending the, session time period. It's like half an hour we have already extended. And I can still see people still want to stay. Might be they don't want to, ask the question, or they want to learn as well, but still they don't want, to leave the session, and they're really, I'm sure, are taking a lot of things from the session. Really appreciate your time and a lot of learning truly, it was an amazing session. Have no words. I can only say it was wow. A true learning, I think it will bring change to many of us life, specifically in this situation, when we are working from home, not much connected with the team, only through the, virtual medium we are connecting. So your words will definitely help us, to get the same bonding there once we go live to the office and interact with each other and maintain our relationship, official and personal, in the same way. And your mantras are really a good learning for everyone.
Thank you so much, Manjeet ma'am. Thank you for the support that you are extending throughout the session and motivating people along with me. It really makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, I think you should not call me ma'am. I'm nowhere to your learning. I really respect you and admire people who actually bring a lot of change in people's life, their words. I think all these words are already there in the dictionary. It's just you bring it to their notice and, you bring it to their mind, which is, I would say you are a medium of, bringing hope in today's life to people's life, and that means a lot, this current situation, it's really, appreciated. I can still see people are writing, thank you so much, really wow sessions. Everyone agrees that,
yes, it really feels great to see and to read all of these comments.
This boosts our energy and, definitely, inspires us to plan a session accordingly. And really, it's your efforts, that makes them, learn and use their wellness time for something that can be emotionally, bring up the well-being of them. It can be used in professional, personal, every relationship that we are carrying in today's life.
Yes.
It's important. So I think Vipasha, we will definitely would love Miss Safina to be connected with some other sessions as well. So for today, I think we should end up this session as of now. So thank you, Sushma. And definitely we'll plan for more sessions and we'll take care of your, our team as well. So anyone has anything to share in further, please do feel free. And I really appreciate Ms. Safina for your extended support and time given to the team. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Vipasha. So am I okay? If I can get a permission, can I exit because I have a session next at 5?
Sure. No problem.
If anyone is having any questions, please let me know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Vipasha, I think we should end the meeting and really appreciate team for your extended time. And I'm sure a lot of learning from the session. We'll plan accordingly for more sessions for you people. Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful evening ahead. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for your coordination, Manjeet. I'm ending the meeting now.
Vipasha, I will be needing the chat. And thank you. Let's end the meeting.
Okay, I'll send the chat and the background. Don't worry.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.